Hello friends, this is Adam with MovieGuy365, and today I'm going to review the film released this weekend, The House with a Clock in Its Walls. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, hit bell notifications. I put out videos daily. So yesterday I had a chance to see the latest Eli Roth film, The House with a Clock in Its Walls, and it's an overall positive experience. So as I mentioned before, the late part of summer has been kind of lackluster as far as releases. So it's a lot of studios either not having good product or it's just a weird coincidence. So it was kind of refreshing to see something, even under the PG rated banner. Not everything needs to be PG-13. In fact, this movie itself, I think is a very good, it's a good standalone film, and I wouldn't even necessarily label it a family film. While it does invite the entire family, there really isn't anything scary or something that would turn off younger children. They allude to a few more adult themes throughout the film, which I find as an adult, as a parent, kind of refreshing, because the worst thing you can do is take your kids to a film and you as the adult be bored out of your mind. I think there is a healthy way to do a balance, and a movie like this one absolutely does that balance extremely well. The film stars Jack Black, Cate Blanchett, Kyle MacLachlan, and Owen Vaccaro as Lewis, who is essentially our main character and our point of view for the audience. And I felt everybody did a great job in this. It felt to me like there was maybe a little bit of slowness once they set up the initial plot. So Lewis himself has recently lost his parents, and his uncle has graciously decided to take him in. So he meets him, and they come back to this house. Now the house itself is kind of, it's not really explained why what happens at the house happens, other than it was owned by a warlock who had recently passed, but it kind of is like, it's not haunted, but it's almost like very Jumanji-esque, where things come to life, that kind of thing, and inanimate objects, couch, paintings and things like that. I thought that was kind of a cool way to keep a house lively and things happening. And honestly, that was kind of my favorite part, was seeing what little things could happen within the house. Now that being said, there are rules in a world which I'm sure are fleshed out in the book by John Bellairs that aren't fleshed out necessarily here. In fact, the whole point of becoming a witch or a warlock is as simple as picking up a book and learning how to do it. It's not like in Harry Potter where you're kind of born that way and you learn how to do it through education at the schools. This is like, I can get any guy off the street, put a few books in front of him, and then he's a warlock. That seems like an incredibly, it's a convenient thing, but it kind of takes away a little bit of the mysticism. Now they kind of go the other way towards the end of the film with a couple revelations, which I won't mention here due to spoilers, but it seems like there's a larger, darker world that inhabits this universe, and we get a taste of it. We do get a taste of it, and it actually, if they were to make sequels, it would maybe we get more of that, and that would be interesting. Now I felt like the CGI was good, but if you've seen the trailer, you see the pumpkin thing, with a bunch of pumpkins. I felt that was very CGI-ish. It looked too CGI to me. It brought me, when a CGI can bring you that far out of a movie, it's kind of a bad thing. But, for the most part, all the other special effects were really good. Now this is going to border on spoiler territory, but I have to mention it. So towards the end, there is a scene, if you've seen it, reminiscent of Deadpool 2, with a certain Deadpool, something happens to Deadpool, and he has to grow part of his body back. We get that here. It is incredibly disturbing. It is not, in fact, I get it was done for a gag, I do, but I felt the scene lingered a little too long, and that was the second thing that really brought me out of the movie. It was done better in Deadpool 2, let's put it that way. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, there's that scene, but I really enjoy Jack Black in this. I'm not a huge Jack Black fan. I like him when he's part of an ensemble, not necessarily when he's a focus. And I don't feel he steals a lot of the focus. I think it's distributed evenly. Cate Blanchett is wonderful in this. There's a certain sadness to her character, which is explained, but it's not spoon-fed to you. So it goes back to what I was saying before. The adults are going to understand this reference and what happened. And little touches like that add a complexity to a story, which makes, people our age, enjoy the movie more, because we understand what's going on. It's not just a convenient, oh, she doesn't want to do this, but there's some mystery as to why. We're never going to explain it and then if we do explain it, it's some shoddy explanation. It really takes away from the narrative. She's wonderful in this. I enjoy her work overall in everything. Hela in Thor Ragnarok, I thought she was amazing. Lord of the Rings, of course, and I'm a big fan of her, so I really enjoyed seeing her in this. Kyle MacLachlan plays the recently deceased Warlock. I would say out of all the roles, I would say his was probably the weakest, but I'm gonna blame that on what happens later into the movie. They give him a good premise, and they constantly flash back to his character. So, but what towards the end, it kind of I don't know. It's just I think there's some issues there. Leave me comments and let me know what you thought. But yeah, the movie overall is a fun time. It's not perfect, but for Eli Roth, who has never done a PG movie or a movie that's technically a family film, it's a decent film. It's very decent. I probably will pick it up on 4K when it does arrive. It's fun. It is not perfect by any means. I think Jack Black was a little underused. They kind of make him seem like one way in the trailers, but in the actual movie, it's kind of different. But yeah, it's a fun movie. Don't be afraid to take your kids. I've had somebody mention to me, is like, can I take my 3 and 6 year old? And I was like, yeah, definitely take your 3 and 6 year old. It's fine. I don't, if you're taking them to Marvel movies anyway, so this is definitely, they can handle this. It's not a lot scary. Could I see the possibility of a edgier version down the line? I would love to see something with a little more teeth to it, per se. I think it would make for a fascinating, older children, adult kind of film. I think it played it a little too safe because it had to. It's an untested property as far as films go. So we're going to see how it does in the box office. Perhaps it'll warrant a sequel. But that's my opinion. Overall, yeah, it's a solid time at the theater. Take your family, go see it. If you're an adult wondering if you should go see it, if you're a Jack Black fan, if you're a Cate Blanchett fan, sure, go see it. It's not a typical kids movie. I'll just say it that way. You, as an adult, will enjoy it on a different level, of course, but there's a lot to be had. I didn't find there would be any annoying characters, really, but go see it. I think support a movie like this would be wonderful. It kind of is a little pre-Halloween right now in this time of year, but it sets it up nicely. So that's going to do it. That's going to be my review for The House with the Clock in its Walls. So if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, share with your friends. You're helping me out, keep the channel going. I do videos daily. So until next time, this is Adam with MovieGuy365. I will see you at the movies.